Craig Conover shares an update on Sewing Down South. Craig Conover is finally fulfilling a longtime dream. On the heels of several career milestones, the Southern Charm cast member shared more details about his upcoming collection for Sewing Down South, the eight-figure home goods brand he launched in 2018. The anticipated range is a collaborative effort with Belk's private label, Crown and Ivy, and will deliver more than 100 pieces that cover men's, women's, and kids' apparel, as well as accessories and home goods. Craig Conover says he's wanted to make clothing. Craig spoke about the collection in a recent interview with Briefing on Bravo, explaining how the Belk partnership helped him reach another career goal. "My desire was always to make clothes," he said. "I had never been taught how to actually do that, only how to make a pillow in home economics. But to be able to finally do a clothing collection is a dream come true. This is kind of my return to Charleston collection. Crown and Ivy really understands the pastel palette and lifestyle that I love about this city." As seen in a few teasers, the forthcoming collection is a celebration of the Holy City and the beauty of the South. The garments were presented in eye-catching colors and bold all-over prints that nod to Charleston's architecture and coastal surroundings. Craig Conover's mom was involved in his latest design project. Craig revealed that his mom, Martha Conover, helped design some of the Sewing Down South X Crown and Ivy garments, including the sundresses she sported in a Mother's Day promo. "I can't wait to wear this collection all summer long," Martha was quoted. Martha and her friends also contributed to the Sewing Down South X Crown and Ivy holiday collection, which will be released in October. "There's just a coziness that comes with the holidays," Craig said. "We wanted to let people dress for the holidays but still look cool. You can celebrate in a chic way without needing to show up in a sweater covered in reindeer." What's next for Craig Conover and Sewing Down South? The Sewing Down South X Crown and Ivy Summer 2025 collection will be available in-store and online on June 4. In support of the launch, Belk will host a pop-up shop next to Sewing Down South's flagship in Charleston. The event will go down on June 7 and will include a meet and greet with Craig. "We're turning the space next to the store into a mini Belk," the Southern Charmer said. "If you want a signed item or photo, I'll be there all day." Threads of a dream. Craig Conover's Southern return. The smell of sea salt mingled with magnolia blossoms as Craig Conover stepped out of his Charleston home, a canvas tote slung over his shoulder and a swatch of pastel fabric peeking from its brim. The summer air buzzed with the kind of energy Charleston seemed to reserve for special moments. And for Craig, today marked the culmination of a dream stitched together over years of ambition, heartache, and quiet perseverance. He paused at the gate, looked down King Street, and smiled. In the early years, this city had seen him through law school, heartbreaks both televised and private, and a vision that no one had quite understood. Not until Sewing Down South turned from a quirky pillow company into an eight-figure brand anyway. But today wasn't about the past. Today was about fabric, fashion, and a return to where it all began. Pillows and possibilities. It started with a needle and thread. That's what Craig always said. In 2018, when he first announced Sewing Down South, most people, including his friends, thought it was just another Bravo B-list side hustle. But Craig wasn't in it for the buzz. Home economics in middle school was one of the few places he felt totally in control, and the simple act of sewing had always soothed him in ways he hadn't fully understood. Something about the rhythm of the machine, the texture of the textiles, made him feel rooted. And then came the pillows. At first, he stitched in secret, late nights in his townhouse, with fabric strewn across the floor like autumn leaves. He experimented with bold prints, seashell motifs, and embroidered phrases like "bless your heart" and "low country living." Slowly, the world began to pay attention. First came local boutiques, then a flagship store, and eventually, interest from one of the South's most iconic retailers, Belk. But fashion, now that was the real dream. I always wanted to make clothes, Craig had said in countless interviews. But I didn't know how. I mean, I barely knew how to make a pillow at first. Now, just a week out from launching a 100-piece collection with Crown and Ivy, the dream was no longer a sketch on a mood board. It was real. The Belk breakthrough. Belk's Charleston headquarters was buzzing the day Craig visited for the final approval of the line. "Okay, y'all, we've got the Charleston Sunset Romper on display next to the Harbor Breeze button-downs," said Dana Whitmore, the Crown and Ivy creative lead. She flipped through a rack of pieces that looked like they had been pulled from a painter's palette: coral, seafoam green, butter yellow, and Carolina blue. Craig ran his hands across the clothes, dresses, polos, shorts, beach bags, even matching father-son outfits. Each pattern was inspired by something deeply personal: the cobblestone streets of Rainbow Row, the oyster roasts in Sullivan's Island, the Charleston Farmers Market, the porch swings on East Bay Street. "This is it," he murmured. "This is home." The Belk team applauded as Craig gave the official nod of approval. "You're not just creating clothes, Craig," Dana said. "You're creating a Southern lifestyle, one that people want to wear." He nodded, swallowing the emotion threatening to rise in his throat. "This is my return to Charleston collection," he said. Crown and Ivy got it exactly right. They understood the pastel palette, the nostalgia, the ease of the South. Mother knows best. Behind every great man is a mother who taught him how to sew. Martha Conover had been more than just supportive of Craig's venture. She had become a quiet architect behind the brand's aesthetic evolution. As Craig's popularity soared, she remained his anchor, always ready with a gentle critique or a new idea. "You should add a sun hat," she'd say while sipping iced tea on the back porch. "Oh, and what about matching summer dresses for girls?" It was Martha who had designed two of the best-selling sundresses in the Sewing Down South X Crown and Ivy summer line, including the soft lilac number she wore in the brand's Mother's Day campaign. "Can't wait to wear this collection all summer long," she beamed in the promo video, standing in a blooming garden with her friends. The women laughed, clinked glasses of lemonade, and twirled in soft dresses that danced with the breeze. Behind the scenes, Martha and her circle had already started working on designs for the holiday collection. "We want people to dress for the holidays but still look cool," Craig explained in one of their late-night calls. "Something cozy but classy." "No reindeer sweaters," Martha chuckled. "Exactly. Sleek, Southern, and celebratory." The pop-up June 7 was already marked on every Southern Charm fan's calendar. Charleston's King Street pulsed with excitement as workers transformed the space next to Sewing Down South's flagship into a mini Belk pop-up shop. Signs featuring Craig's signature grin and the Sewing With style plastered the windows. Inside, racks of the new line gleamed under warm lighting, and a custom embroidery station offered guests the chance to personalize their purchases. By noon, the line stretched around the block. Craig stood inside, Sharpie in hand, posing for photos and signing everything from sun hats to tote bags to linen shirts. He hugged longtime fans, chatted with curious tourists, and lit up when a young boy pointed to a display of matching father-son polos. "That one's named after you, buddy," he grinned. "The Little Sullivan." The pop-up wasn't just a store, it was a celebration. Southern food trucks lined the sidewalks, live musicians played coastal blues, and kids played cornhole on custom boards embroidered with Sewing Down South logos. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, Craig stepped outside, sunglasses perched on his head, and the weight of the day finally hitting him. "You did it, son," Martha whispered as she joined him. "No, we did," he said, wrapping an arm around her. The ripple effect. The impact of the collection rippled far beyond Charleston. In Nashville, boutique owners began stocking the Crown and Ivy line, drawn by its Southern charm with a modern twist. In Atlanta, influencers styled the apparel for brunch outings and lake days. Even in New York City, Stylists praised the bold patterns and breathable fabrics as unexpectedly fresh. But perhaps the most meaningful moment came in an email Craig received 2 weeks after the launch. It was from a 16-year-old boy named Elijah in Charlotte, North Carolina. "Hi, Craig. I don't really know how to say this, but I saw your line in Belk last week and it made me cry. Not because it was sad, but because I finally saw something that felt like me. I like to sew too, and I've never told anyone because I didn't think it was cool for guys. But now I'm saving up to buy your sewing machine and some fabric. Thank you for making sewing cool, Elijah." Craig read the message 3 times before forwarding it to his team with just 2 words: "This matters." What's next? By August, Craig had already begun sketching for next summer's collection. His notebook was filled with new motifs: sea turtles, palmettos, vintage postage stamps, marsh birds. He wanted to explore swimwear next, maybe a fragrance line too. And his biggest idea yet, a pop-up Sewing Down South sewing studio that would travel across the South teaching people how to sew, decorate, and express themselves through textiles.